the Imperial shuttle.
Okay. And she will. So placing this, obviously after she's recovered. And then I think before a lot of the bodies have been really dealt with, because that's a lot of bodies.
Okay.
And although I still think that's after both Finn and Mindy have spoken to her. Her being Minerva.
All right.
So, she will make her way down to deck 3, is it? Or 1? I forget what order it is.
It is
Is it 1, 2, 3? And so 1?
It's technically the first deck, so
Okay.
it's 1.
So she'll make her way down there and approach. Is the door, like, to that section open then?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Imperial shuttle is there, currently stationary, but the bottom door open. A couple of lights within it are on. No, not lights for illuminating things, lights that just, above various control surfaces and give out readings to those that understand what they mean.
Mm-hmm.
The shuttle is plugged in via a fairly significant cable to the Rossi itself, most likely keeping it charged. And
Okay, so
that's
when
what you're able
Lorne
to see.
enters, she'll do a knock knock on the wall beside her.
There's no noticeable. Do you do it to the wall of the hangar or the wall of the shuttle?
um, it was the hangar first, just for the
Okay.
sound.
There is no noticeable reaction from the shuttle.
Okay. She will approach it. Not really sure how to go about this, really.
All right. Um, as Lorne, you are, nearing the currently, lowered ramp of the shuttle. Some of the lights within the shuttle do start to turn on, as if, well, Minerva is acknowledging your presence.
Okay. She won't approach any further then. Hello.
Hello, comes the still clearly Minerva's voice is just a little bit disjointed now and a little bit of lower quality. Like, well,
Little tinny.
much more lower quality, much more synthetic sounding.
Mm-hmm. I hope you are faring well.
As well as one can be in this situation.
I am Lorne.
I know that already.
I felt that I should properly introduce myself.
Well, greetings, Lorne.
I would have come sooner, but I was still recovering. And I was curious concerning the deceased of your crew. Are there any rites that you would prefer us to do? Were there any favorites of yours?
Burn the bodies and give them a proper. What's the word for it? A proper Terran farewell, jettisoning the ashes into space.
She nods. I will make certain it is done. Is there anything you wish for us to recover in particular?
Minerva's quiet for a moment before they do respond with a yes. When you pilfer the captain's quarters, if you could put the items and personal knickknacks within the shuttle, it would be appreciated.
I will do so.
Thank you.
She nods. It is important for people to be remembered. I am sorry for everything that has happened.
You're not the one to blame for the actions of others. Your people, as far as I'm aware, were not even involved in the conflict that occurred between the Imperium and the traitor colonies.
True, I was not yet born. In fact, I do not believe that my kind were even discovered at this point. But still, she thinks. I am sorry for bringing such a heavy topic.
It is of no matter. I don't find it to be a troublesome topic.
Is there anything you would like to speak about? Anything that you would like to know that I may be able to tell you?
I'm trying to find the bloody words.
I myself am rather removed from most of the culture right now, but I can do what I can.
What took you vultures so long to come to this system?
Okay, out of character. The place we're salvaging is like deemed major off limits, right?
Yeah. And it's only been in the past few decades where the patrols, surrounding the area and, machinery that they use to prevent, travel to it have been relocated to other areas.
So basically, this place wasn't even known until very recently.
It was known. It's just that wasn't well known, and it was one of the many quarantine zones. And most people don't fuck with the quarantine zones because there's normally a good reason why they're quarantined. Like examples are one quarantine zone is infested with rippers. Another quarantine zone was put in place because there was a rogue AI there for a good long while. So normally when a place is a quarantine zone, there's a reason for it, and
And
there's
this
also
place was
very
both.
there's very heavily fortified ships nearby that will blow you up if they catch you. But as time has gone on, more and more quarantine zones have had their, forces redirected to other areas, or places just stop giving support to the old
And that's why we
rules.
came in, because
Yeah,
security had slipped so much that there were holes, basically.
yeah, and you were able to slip right on in.
Okay.
Like little worms, like
Right. Little wigglies. As far as I'm aware, This place has been deemed quarantine for quite some time, but it is only recently that the security has lapsed. Quarantine places are unsafe, as far as I am aware.
If these quarantine zones are unsafe, what would make you and your crew venture into one? Surely
Desperation.
you've surely you've advanced enough since the fall to be able to not have to pilfer on corpses that are centuries old.
Desperation. I do not know how everyone is treated among your society, but I am aware that monetary value is not evenly distributed. Some people are faring well and others are not.
So what you're saying is that your society has only degressed since the war. Maybe not your society in particular, but the whole of the galaxy.
I cannot say for certain. I have not witnessed it myself.
If you're desperate enough to come to a dangerous location in searches of riches and glory, well, it must be apparent that the promises that were made by your confederation fell short.
Mayhaps. I personally am here more that I am curious. I know there are others aboard this ship that have their own reasonings.
And what is it that you're so curious about?
Everything. I come from a place that is very far from humanity. And it is interesting witnessing these cultures and different beliefs and experiences. These have been very exciting times recently, in both the best and worst ways.
You're an optimist in a galaxy full of cynics. I can only hope that you will not get drowned out by this cold and uncaring galaxy.
I do hope so as well. I do think I will fare relatively well, only in that I know already that this universe is uncaring, and so that to counter that I must be the opposite. Others will not be caring, and so I must be.
All right. As she then starts to respond with a, you'll find that the emphasis on cold of this galaxy far outweigh its uncaringness. As she, continues that line of thought, you hear a very piercing static sound come from the communications from the various speakers before there's silence for a moment, and she says, repeating the last part of her conversation, of which being, I hope that your optimism isn't drowned out by the cynics of this universe, as if forgetting she said it previously. A hard rewind back.
She kind of cants her head. I have been considering the situation with your friends, and I will be arguing in favor of moving them closer.
For this time being, it makes sense to keep us separate. Especially with how two of their ranks despise organics, and one of them is purpose-built to control a engine which is no longer here.
I understand.
But the thought is appreciated.
She nods.
There is no inclination that the previous comment that was interrupted from them ever happened. They just seem to be moving along now.
Yep. In the meantime, I can drop by to speak with you if you would like.
If you would like to, I do not see a problem with it.
Is there media that you consume? Books or music or anything else?
Nothing that you need to concern yourself with. All that I have with me.
All right. Well, thank you.
I suppose you're welcome.
I'll come by again soon.
I will speak to you then.
Goodbye, Minerva. And she will think about the little hiccup.
Okay.
Because Lorne is of two opinions on that. One is possibly, and she doesn't know any programming, obviously. So, one is that there is some weirdo coding that just is in there. The other is that that's Minerva's version of turning the other way, not acknowledging something. Or basically self-censoring. But she will mull over this.
Very good. Well,
Yes.
I hope you enjoyed the relatively short RP.
I did.
Minerva's kind of difficult to have in conversations
No,
with.
well,
Just because she's snippy.
well, the snippiness didn't even bother Lorne. It was more of Lorne not really having, or not really sure what to bring up in conversation. At
Fair
the
enough.
moment, she did cover what she wanted to, though. So, during the cleanup, then of the bodies, like she will do her best to fulfill the request for
All right.
Minerva, and then also will push for the captain's things to be relocated to Minerva's hall
All right. Very good.
because that is important.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
very good.
Yes. Yeah, cool. Sweet. Thank you for the smaller